Smith and Murkov. Murkov took it, lost it. Carroll, once again, driving hard in the conditions. Smart kick to Carl.
Farms it back. It was clever to Callett. Wobbly kick inside 50. Young attacks it. Well done. As he gives it off to Daniel. 9th inside 50-1 for the Dogs. And well done, Young. They're ferocious with and without the ball. Will Lewis coming off a best on-ground performance for the VFL against Perth last week in rep footy. So that's a credit to Carlton's defence, but also to the Bulldogs' ability to lock it in the front half.
Absolutely. I think the Blues' ball movement at the moment is just a little slow. They need to get some hands receives because Bulldogs are setting up so well behind the footy.
Quay, Durden, Bader, Fantasia, wide for Moyer. Where's one in the midriff from Baker? Almost a professional foul that allows the Dogs to fan in behind. Moyer again. Dogs knew where it was going. Hayes, back to Durden. Got a good boot on him. We'll try and use it wide. McMahon put the hands in to Bustlinger and then completes the grab. Just their second inside 50. The Dogs have had 11. But the margin rests at just 3.
All that way.
Liam, what do you have to be mindful of with the Bulldogs today?
Oh, we know that they want to run it.
Garcia swept onto it. He gets through Moyer. Cunningham couldn't get eyes on it. He goes slightly high on Bianco, no free, and Carl is off to the races. Receives from Moyer, caresses the kick to Lemmy, who can skate in and kick the Blues second. Jed Bustlinger got it done with the ground ball win.
Breeze has dropped a little, and the Blues are hanging in here. Hewitt sets it up. Beautifully read by Keith, who could have marked. Umpire's going to pay a block. Advantage paid. Goal Carlton, and they lead.
But it's probably back on the Dogs a little bit that they've had 6 scoring shots and probably 3 or 4 out on the full as well. Cunningham.
Drive it deep. Durden just worked. Bustlinger. His kick's going to be cut off by Monaghan. Smith to Daniel. Baker off the left. Bends at goalward. Binns in best position. Garcia tries to get away from Lewis Young, but his kick only as far as Durden.
So it's umpire Cam Williams, number 19, who actually went down in general play in the first quarter and fell backwards.
Lord's kick, has it got the penetration to get to wide? It does, and once again we're going to see a highly efficient...
Being able to overlap the initial defender and then getting deep in their forward 50.
Well, Will White's been one of the most impressive youngsters in the competition. He's kicked his second.
Baker makes good of it to Craig Peters with Motlop bearing down. Impacted the kick to Jesse. Hand on it, Bader. Slalom run from Carroll. Binns holding his width. Checks the kick neatly into the hands of Hewitt. And the Blues are in motion. Hayes waits for the run of Binns. Towing the Hawkins wing. Shapes the kick to Carl.
Blues ball use has been extremely efficient. They've been so clean. You can see the difference just in the kicking efficiency for the Bulldogs and the Blues.
They've needed to be, given the weight of possession for the Dogs. That's a great mark up in front by Hudson O'Keefe, and he's within range.
In February 2021, won the Dogs VFL Best and Fairest back in 2019. The Dogs have got to look inside forward 50, but the story of the day has been their ability to finish. Martin, Carl, Hayes, Blues inside 50, and McMahon presents. Smith poked the hand pass for MacArthur. On the right, this would be some sort of way
To the Blues.
1-2 to 1-1 in the quarter so far. Durden playing in front, feasts on.
Hayes will go in the air against Smith, who just snatches it out. Well done, Lewis Young. Will be rewarded. Bianco. So it's Bedendo versus Aquay. How will it sit? Young got back. Well done, Aquay. And Bedendo's pulled up really sore here behind the play, grabbing at his knee. He's had a rotten run, Tom Bedendo. He's rolling around in pain. Meanwhile, the ball's at the other end of the ground. Hunt tried to work his man underneath at White, and then he's tackled hard by Motlop. White goes against Craig Peters, wins it himself. On to Monaghan. Straightens up from 40 out. That's a beautiful finish from Rob Monaghan. Great counter-punch from the Blues.
Garcia puts a stop to that. Will Lewis tried to make an impact on the contest. He was late, and Scott shoveled only as far as Hayes. His hand pass pops free. Daniel, that's a good stop. Motlop can now spiral ball. Lewis Young got the fist in on MacArthur.
8th will play 9th, so a win here for the Dogs lifts them above that zone.
And with the Cats waiting at GMHBA Stadium next weekend, currently top 4 in both comps, as Martin got the knees in on Keith and a lift.
Off that he gets with such ease.
His sole VFL goal.
Handballs from the Dogs, releases Callett, gets good purchase on the kick. Durden in best position though, stayed goal side of his opponent, took it on the chest. Straight up the middle, and Libet does look like this game is potentially opening up a little now. Young to Lord. The Blues have got some numbers forward of the football here. McMahon's the first. Hewitt's got to wait. Jones will come across, but George Hewitt.
In Yarraville or Seddon?
Let's get back to it.
25 out. Keeps it low. Steers it through. Craig Peters inside 50. MacArthur will work hard to get there. Bounce beats him. Aquay. Lewis Young. White takes it. Cuts inside, wants to keep it moving. Goes to Carroll, who's been prominent. Drives it inside 50. Lemmy in best position. Beautiful delivery from Carroll. Umpire says front on contact against Keith. Libby, your thoughts? 45 out. Close to the man on the mark. He wants to work it on the breeze. He's done it really well. Lemmy kicks his second. Blues respond. Back out to 9 points.
Probably still has the skills to be on an AFL list. He's really fit. He can run the house down, so he's been really good. And he just brought a great energy last week.
Aquay free to fly for the Blues. It comes to ground level. MacArthur just shaded by Durden. Hewitt charts a path out of the traffic. Back to Lewis Young, whose tumbling ball finds Binns.
Wants to keep it moving. Here is the aforementioned Will Hayes. Tidy kick down the line finds Carl. Coming in over the top with the fist was Will Lewis. Socket forward by Daniel, who then tries to shovel it forward again. Good third effort. Lord emerges from the congestion. Handball slips past Will White. Got to go back and find it. He does. Off to Lewis Young. Chips into the path of McMahon.
There will try and dribble this home. How's it bounce? It missed both Binns and Baker. The Blue is back for it first. He has support from Durden, who shoos it to Carl.
Really smart play there by Binns. Just being able to push his opponent under the footy. It's risky business being one-on-one in the goal square, but he did it well.
It's a good clean pickup of a dangerous ball too from Binns. That was impressive. Lemmy lays a tackle on Keith, gets rid of him, gets the ball moving Carlton's way. Lord now under pressure, gives it off to Hewitt. Can he make the right decision inside 50? Martin on the bounce versus Jones, one-on-one. Here's McMahon from the pocket, dribbles it goalward. Across the face, it's still alive. Here's a chance. Moy's got to pick it up, can just snap a goal. He does.
You absolutely will, and it's lucky that they did give this chance to Moyock because he was on the left side of the ground the whole time, absolutely free. He had no one with him the entire time. So it was fate that he ended up with the footy, but bad that his teammates hadn't seen him open there.
Oh, it's lucky they were with Amy. Young, awkward one for Durden. He did really well to pick it up. Bader, handball to Prout. It's got Durden still there in support. Now back to Prout. Good forward pressure here from the Dogs. Prout over to Binns, who always provides width on the fat side of the ground. Carroll offers a lead short. Binns is going to switch back.
Disappointing forward half pressure here from the Bulldogs. They had 3 or 4 or 5 bodies going to one player.
Hayes can go long down the line. Lemmy can compete and then let Carl at the back. Will he take Buslinger on for speed? Brings it back inside to a dangerous spot. Motlop to work his magic. Paddles it to Lord. Inside a goal again.
Moyer and Lord in the opening 10 minutes of this final term. The Bulldogs find a way once again. And Carroll's pulled up here. Maybe he's hurt himself. Cunningham got it initially. Now it's Moyer, a goal kicker in the last, to Hewitt. broken play for the Blues. Martin just decides to send it deep. Keith versus McMahon, who got a fly. Motlop at ground level enjoys the spoils. Sweeping through Crofts. Coughed it up. Cunningham, Hayes, Motlop. Look at him accelerate and stretch them. Baker tries to chase in vain. To Carroll, who gets a chance to test the ankle. It's fine. He finds McMahon. McMahon with 2. Carlton still with the pulse.
Well, it's the little things that matter here, and Will Hayes, he makes sure no Bulldogs players can catch Motlop. They're the little things that matter, thanks to the Amy replay. And the Blues, they just will not lie down, as Nige said. But a beautiful finish there by McMahon. Game on.
Still a heap of time, probably 10 minutes left in this game. Margin back to 9 points.
W preliminary final over the Seagulls, so you'll see North Melbourne 16 can find themselves well and truly back in the Smithies VFL Premiership race with victory here. Scott, the tackle, but it's built forward for the Blues. Hayes to Cunningham, to Motlop, with the no look to Lemmy, who's got a couple, and will try and set up McMahon here this afternoon. What a wonderful set shot he is.
Game state starts to come into this now.
Margin back to 9 points.
Cam Owen in the ruck for the Dogs.
So can Murkov hit one of these targets?
The Blues have also gone for a straight line, forward line setup. Really interesting there.
Yeah, straight up the spine.
Straight up the spine.
So if they do win it out of the stoppage, the forwards can lead to space left or right. Much harder to defend. Yanko to the run of Baker. Well done by Hayes as well. Ran him down. Created the turnover for Binns. Back to half forward, Lemmy. That could almost be 50.
Who's provided us with some highlights late.
Another barrel. Geez,
right
hit
up
that well.
the middle from Lockie Young, who's putting his Carroll there through the feet of Clark. White to Binns, to Hayes, who's kept trying in his second game back. Lemmy in front, got the fingertips to it.